Okay. I owe my viewers an apology because last week I thought I uploaded my NFL Week 10 picks, and I ended up re-uploading the same video that I made the week prior, which is Week 9. Why I have not paid attention to any of that shit? You got me. 2020. Ugh, good lord. So, but that's my fault. It is what it is. I will upload Week 10, but it's probably going to be. In fact, I'll probably upload Week 10 first. First, just to give you an idea, before I upload Week 11. But anyway, let's get going. If we don't fucking mind. All right, Cardinals losing to the Seattle Seahawks, 28-21. I want to say. No, I did not watch the game. I should. Game. It is what it is. It is. I have not been able to watch a lot of football recently. Just my football team, and that's it. And occasion and just highlights pretty much. Because I've been busy as fuck. But anyway, let's go. Lions going on the road to take on the Carolina Panthers. The Carolina Panthers are 3-7 and are on a 5-game losing streak, whereas the Detroit Lions, meanwhile, are 4-5 and beat the Washington Football Team. Wow. Barely beat the Washington Football Team, mind you. The Panthers have been like I said, the Panthers, they've been on a major slump. Losing 5 in a row. They're looking like the team that I expected them to look like. Like, just a little bit too late. Just a little bit too late or whatever. Since this is still the Detroit Lions, until proven otherwise, the Lions still stink outdoors. Go ahead, give me the Carolina Panthers to defeat the Detroit Lions. Next up, Eagles going on the road to take on the Cleveland Browns. Last time these two teams met was Carson Wentz's first start. And last week, alright, spoiler alert, last week I took the Eagles to defeat the New York Giants. And obviously that didn't happen. Daniel Jones actually outdueled Carson Wentz, which will have people questioning Carson Wentz even more so now, because Carson Wentz has not been able to play some decent football as of late. The Eagles in general still have issues. Let's just call that for what it is. Go ahead. The Browns, meanwhile, are 6-3. First time that has happened in a while. They did have to struggle to beat the Houston Texans. There's my quarter. Alright. Coin flip time, motherfuckers. Landed tails. You know what? Okay. You know what? It landed tails. Go ahead and take the Cleveland Browns. But I would not be surprised if Philadelphia wins this fucking football game. I really wouldn't, because Philadelphia was expected to beat the Giants and they lose. Philadelphia is expected to lose to the Cleveland Browns. So I wouldn't be so shocked if they win, if the Browns actually lose this game. But go ahead and take the Browns to win this game, I guess. Moving on quickly. Patriots going on the road to take on the Houston Texans. The Patriots are 4-5 after their 2-5 start, and the Houston Texans are 2-7. Surprisingly, not in last place AFC South. But if they were in the NFC East, they would just be a game and a half out. Whereas they are not even in contention to make a wild card spot at this point. And you know what? Go ahead, take the New England Patriots to defeat the Houston Texans. Bill Belichick, I will never doubt Bill Belichick ever again. It is what it is. I expect them to beat the lowly Houston Texans. Steelers going on the road to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Pittsburgh Steelers are on upset alert as far as I'm concerned. They are a perfect 9-0 at this point, and it's the Jacksonville Jaguars that are 1-8. That's what makes this more dangerous. First, the Pittsburgh Steelers have been known for, especially the last 5 years, if not longer than that, to playing down their competition. But Pittsburgh will win the game and extend their best start in franchise history, 10-0. Oh, if they win, that would be something. But some would say Jacksonville is due for a victory. Problem is they're facing a tough steel curtain defense. An opportunistic one at best, because they're number one in one of the most important categories, and that would be the takeaway. Moving on quickly. Falcons going on the road to take on the New Orleans Saints. Atlanta's actually won 2 in a row, if I'm not mistaken. And New Orleans has won 6 in a row, but they've lost their quarterback Drew Brees to broken ribs and a partially collapsed lung. Drew Brees is way too old to be having broken ribs and a partially collapsed lung. It's bad enough to have that kind of injury at 25 years old, let alone 41. So who's the starting quarterback? You would think it'd be Jameis Winston, right? Wrong, because now I've read that it's going to be Taysom Hill getting the start against the lowly Falcons, and it makes sense in some ways. Jameis Winston had his opportunities to be successful on a pretty good Buccaneers football team a year ago, and what happened? He finished with 30 fucking interceptions. Why the fuck would you think that? So if the rumors are true, and if the reports are true that Taysom Hill's going to get the start, it makes sense because Jameis Winston is not that good of a quarterback. He's just riding off the coattails of a good fucking football team. God, what's going to happen if the Saints not only make it to the Super Bowl but win it? Jameis Winston's going to get a Super Bowl ring? Ugh, fuck, he's the least deserving of a Super Bowl ring. Fuck out of here. That being said, I understand Drew Brees is out, but go ahead, take the New Orleans Saints to defeat the Atlanta Falcons. I don't think the loss of Drew Brees will affect them at all. It didn't affect them at all last year, just saying. Alright, moving on quickly. Titans going on the road to take on the Baltimore Ravens. Last time these two teams met was the divisional round where the Tennessee Titans rolled into Baltimore and won the game. Now the Titans are tied for the division lead. The Colts hold the tiebreaker because the Indianapolis Colts beat the Tennessee Titans. And meanwhile, the Baltimore Ravens lost shockingly to the New England Patriots. And spoiler alert, I took the New England Patriots to lose that game, not win it. But anyway, Jesus fucking Christ. I know the Titans steamrolled all over the Baltimore Ravens defense. I understand Lamar Jackson is struggling. I don't think he's struggling by that much, however. And this is a regular season game. Go ahead and take the Baltimore Ravens to defeat the Tennessee Titans. That's all I've got to say about that. Oh boy, cream of the crap of Week 11. Bengals going on the road to take on the Washington football team. Last time these two teams met was Marvin Lewis versus Jay Gruden. Now it's Zach Taylor versus Riverboat Ron Rivera. And guess what? I know the last time I took Washington to win, they lost, but I don't see it happening again. Go ahead and take the Washington Ruby Slippers to defeat the Cincinnati Bungholes. Clap your fucking heels and say it's no place like home. Alright, late afternoon games. Jets going on the road to take on the LA Chargers of San Diego. Fuck the New York Jets, like I said last week. Well, you'll see what happens, but yeah, I've decided that until the Jets actually win a fucking game, I am not going to pick the Jets to win. This is another cream of the crap game. The Chargers are actually in last place in the AFC West. So another battle of basement dwellers. Go figure. Here. But I think the Chargers are a much better team than the New York Jets are. So take the LA Chargers of San Diego to get their third victory of the season, and hand the Jets their 10th consecutive loss of the season. And this is just of the season. I'll have to look back to see how long the losing streak is. It's fucking bad. Moving on quickly, Dolphins going on the road to take on the Denver Broncos. I did not take I did not foolishly take the Denver Broncos to defeat the Oakland Raiders like I did 2 weeks ago when I took the Broncos to defeat the Atlanta Falcons for some retarded reason. And boy, oh boy, what an inexcusable performance by Drew Lock. 4 interceptions, since all of which were his fault. Yes, he had the rib injury, which was also his fault. Don't you dare blame the offensive line for that shit, because he was running for the first down, and he was running forward. He was diving forward instead of sliding like a fucking dumbass. So shut the fuck up and stop blaming the offensive line for everything. I agree the offensive line sucks, but how the fuck can people complain about the offensive line sucking when you constantly keep changing the offensive line year after year after year after year? Doesn't fucking work that way. Yeah, no shit your quarterback is gonna... No shit everything is gonna fucking suck. No shit your offensive line is gonna suck. But that does not excuse Drew Lock's piss poor performance. And wow, he threw a garbage touchdown pass. Yippee the fuck on that. I'm so impressed. 0 real touchdowns, 4 real interceptions. Fuck yourselves, and that's all I gotta say about that. Now, sadly, this will be the final home game for the Denver Broncos, which fans will be allowed to be in attendance because, once again, because the COVID-19 cases and deaths have skyrocketed dramatically, and there is no fucking end in sight. But go ahead. So enjoy. So whoever has the privilege of being at the stadium, enjoy it because it's going to be a long time before you're going to be allowed back in. And unfortunately, it's going to be on a sour note. I do not see the Broncos beating the Miami Dolphins. Their defense is way too fierce right now. And yes, Tua Tagovailoa is still a rookie quarterback. I get all that shit as well. I hope the Broncos win. Please, I want the Broncos to win, though. I want Drew Lock to play well, is the thing. I don't hate Drew Lock. I want him to succeed. But if he sucks, you're damn right I'm going to criticize him for it. But go ahead and take the Miami Dolphins to win. Let's go. Packers going on the road to take on the Indianapolis Colts. Packers nearly lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Holy shit. Holy shit, that was a joke. They should have been up for. They should have demolished the Carolina Panthers. Jacksonville Jaguars, 48-10. But instead, it was way too close for comfort. And now they face an Indianapolis Colts team. And there's, a very shaky 6-3 team. And when you think about it, because they lost at home to a team to the Baltimore Ravens, which, okay, fine, whatever. But then they go on the road to beat their division rival Tennessee Titans. So I don't know how this game's going to play out. And Phillip Rivers actually beat the Green Bay Packers last year. It was when he was still a member of the LA Chargers. So this should be an interesting game. And Aaron Rodgers, it's been a long time since the Packers have actually been able to beat the Indianapolis Colts. So it's coin flip time. Okay, I am going blind. What the fuck was that? Has to land on my fucking hand. There we go. Tails. For fuck's sake. Go ahead and take the Green Bay Packers. And you bet your sweet ass most of the nation is going to be watching this fucking game. Because it's the Packers and the Colts. The Packers are 7-2, the Colts are 6-3. Fuck it, take the Indianapolis Colts to win. I do see the Packers losing to the Colts again. And that's all I've got to say about that. It will not affect the Packers in the slightest. They still have a somewhat commanding lead in the NFC North for the time being. Next up, Cowboys going on the road to take on the Minnesota Vikings. Well, all of a sudden, the Minnesota Vikings are back in the playoff, are back in the wild card playoff race. Great, grand, fucking wonderful. And guess what? Vikings, end of story. Fuck the Cowboys. At least this year. They are tied for last. Oh yeah, by the way, they're tied for last place in the NFC East, and the Vikings are tied for last place in the NFC North. But the Vikings had the tiebreaker over the line. So fuck out. So get the fuck out of here. All right, Sunday Night Football, and this should be a fucking good one. Chiefs going on the road to take on the Las Vegas Raiders. Last time these two teams met, you know what happened. The Vegas Raiders handed the Chiefs their first and only loss of the season. The question is, will it be their second? Will the Chiefs suffer their second loss of the regular season? Oh, should everything hold up? Should the Steelers somehow still be the number 1 seed and the Chiefs be the number 2 seed? That's going to have some major implications because the Chiefs could go 14-2 most likely, or even 13-3, and have to host a wild card playoff game due to this year's playoff format. And if COVID-19 related issues continue to happen, then I'm hearing all kinds of stories though, but anyway, it's coin flip time. Heads. You know what? When I took the Chiefs to beat the Raiders in Kansas City, the Chiefs lost. So I'm gonna take the Oakland Raiders in hopes that the Kansas City Chiefs win. If it doesn't happen, fine, whatever. I win the pick. But the way my picks have been going this year with some of these, sometimes it's been opposite day. And my Sunday night picks have not been great, so whatever. But go ahead and take the Oakland Raiders to defeat the Kansas City Chiefs. Rams going on the road to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Buccaneers did beat the Carolina Panthers last week. Whereas the LA Rams did defeat the Seattle Seahawks. Ooh, go ahead. God, this is usually a funny game because usually when I pick between the Buccaneers and the Rams, usually the Rams win for some odd reason. And of course, this is Tom Brady's first game against the Rams since Super Bowl 53. And that's all I've got to say about that. Sorry for the long brain fart pause there, but go fuck yourselves. Go ahead and take the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to defeat the Los Angeles Rams. Would not shock me to see the Rams win the way my Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night picks have been going this year. But yeah, go ahead and take the Bucs to defeat the LA Rams. And that's all I've got to say about that. We'll see what happens when week 11 is all said and done. That's it. That's all. Till next time. Later, fuckers.